And welcome to the first ever solo commentary I am providing for you tonight. It is our Monday division of NRRL. We are live here in Austria, our F2 division, which always produces some great racing for us. Last week at Silverstone we had our first ever we had our first win from I Have No Grip, a very entertaining race. Around Austria tonight we have a 12-lap sprint and then a 36-lap race after that. Of course, the F2 division, as I say. This should be very fun. You're probably asking why there is no brother of mine. He is not present for today, so I will be in charge for tonight of our commentary. Hopefully we see as many of the new faces, so I will apologise if commentary is not as good as it usually is. I have not done this on my own before, so hopefully it goes well. I am looking forward to it. It should be a very entertaining session. So we're going to get things going here, and the session, I believe, will begin shortly. One shot qualifying, then followed by 12 laps in a sprint race and 36 in a feature. So this should be quite the night of racing. Probably going to be here for about an hour 10, hour 15, you would expect, as the session gets going now. So here we go then, one shot qualifying. Everyone on soft tyres, as you would expect. So here we go then. Nova Piper sadly out already. We do have a current leader, which is Josh. He comes to Sector 1, it's a 15.8. Everyone seems to have got through largely well. As now down towards turn 4, pick your braking point, nice and smooth. Clip the apex on the outside. He's done that. Inside very quickly becomes the outside. Now this is a very difficult section of the circuit. Very easy to invalidate or run wide. Bit of understeer. Here again, a very easy place to invalidate. You can run over the curbs there. Good luck to you, Mikey, as well. Please put on an entertaining race so I can cover that for our wonderful viewers. As Josh will come across the line. It is a fastest lap from Sam in the Ferrari. So Sam takes pole. Very good lap. And Josh will have been hoping for another pole. He can hope as much as he wants. He's not going to get it today. It's P2 for Josh. Sam in the Ferrari, a 104.5. Just under a 10th clear. And then you see your usual figures. Your Josh, Mikey, I Have No Grip, Dan Lovett, all up there. Brad Gibbs in the V-Carb. A strong performance from them, 4th and 5th. Very tight at the top. Whilst we are here, I will just point out that currently there is a initiative running on Twitch called September. So subscriptions are 25% cheaper. So if you would like to support NRRL and what we do here, we have racing action all 7 days. I am present on commentary for usually 3 to 4. That could be increasing at some point. There have been discussions of that. So if you like the sound of my voice, or you like the commentary that we provide, or the racing action, which I don't understand how you couldn't enjoy, it's been fantastic, then make sure you join us for what should be a very good night and week of racing action that we always provide. So offer at different tiers as well, sometimes 100% races, sometimes 50. But as we just have a couple minutes of waiting time for the race to start. Top comms, I appreciate that, thank you very much. Like I say, it's my first time doing solo and in the lead role, so if there is some mistakes, I do apologise, but we are going to go here to 5 lights. 12 laps decides the feature race order. It is lights out and away we go. Meldrum picks up a penalty. As into turn 1, Josh and Sam. Sam manages to keep the lead. It is Josh in second, Mikey third. Brad Gibbs gets himself up past his teammate. We have 6 gained positions from Nova in P9. Down 5 for Dan Lovett, so not ideal. Here comes Mikey on Josh. He gets the place up in a second. A good move from him. Sam, although, keeps the lead. We go on board now with Josh. Not able to get the position back. As everyone making it through here, we've got wheel to wheel between Mikey and Maloon. Maloon manages to get himself up into 7th place. Very, very good move there. We will go back to our leaders, of course. But that is the perfect start that Sam would have wanted. And now Mikey, we've seen the pace he has. Josh runs wide. He's going to have to be careful with that. 3-second time penalty for Hash. Not the most ideal beginning for him. We have somebody in the pits, that is Meldrum, of course, serving that penalty. So here comes Mikey. Josh runs very wide. No DRS for Mikey as he looks to chase after Sam. Soja in the chat saying, looking forward to racing tomorrow. Great commentary. Hashtag Team Williams. Well, I wish you all the luck in the world. Sadly, I will not be present for tomorrow, as I am out, but I do wish everyone racing the best of luck. It should be a very entertaining race. Mikey's still just trying to hone down that Ferrari. Hasn't really gained as much as he would like in this particular battle. Although everyone there, you see Hijab runs a little bit wide. Roll on the F2. Oh yeah, it's Formula 1 cars, not F2. That is my mistake. Apologies for that. I've only just realised that. That's very silly of me. I have no grip, sets the fastest lap in the race. He is in P4. Stuck in a little bit of a DRS train. Here comes Josh looking at a move on Mikey. Can't get through. And now he looks, again, no DRS for Mikey. He's gaining, he's gaining. Can't gain enough. And he will be all over the back. And Mikey, did he make a slight mistake there? He looks to the outside. Can't get through it. And this is a very, very tricky part of the circuit. Like I say, very easy to run wide. Mikey is so consistently fast. He is, yeah, he had a little bit of an under-the-radar start. And then there was a week where I covered, I think, 4 or 5 races. And he just lit up the track and put on an overtaking masterclass. I remember Hungary in Formula 2. He was just a phenomenal driver. And he has been on a great turn of form ever since then. Speaking of great turns of form, I have no grip in the last week. Been on a scintillating run following his victory in this tier at Silverstone. He hasn't had the best of starts. That is Dan Lovett out. And the bad luck that he has suffered carries on for now. It's not been an ideal couple of weeks. Here comes Josh again though. 8 laps left of our sprint. Not even halfway through. He can't make his way past. Very much seems like a sort of DRS train being formed here from 2nd all the way down to 9th. And our leader, Sam, just ever so slightly edging that gap out, doing everything he needs to do. Mikey can't really follow behind. Astro picks up a 10-second penalty for corner cutting. As here comes Josh then. We have a Williams off. He's managed to keep that pointing in the right direction, so he gets going again. Much better racing than a lot of leagues. Yeah, without trying to sound biased, I think we have a very, very competitive field. I have been part of leagues, I have ran leagues that have maybe had a couple of drivers at the top and then been consistently kind of that 6th to 11th. Has been a little bit more competitive, but here is just, you know, even races like yesterday when we had a clear dominant winner, he obviously didn't win yesterday, so you never really know what to expect here, because somebody can be on for a win and then right at the end a safety car comes out and everything changes. And to compound his misery, Astro in the Williams picks up a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Sam picks up a 3-second penalty. That's going to be very interesting for the final 7 laps of this race. He needs to gain about a second to make sure he can keep that victory. And this is maybe just the part of the race where everything starts to just peter out as we head in towards the final few laps. We have just finished halfway race distance, as Astro, I believe, is lapped. 1.7 seconds out front, and now, here we go then. Brad all over the back of Matt Connor. He goes to the inside at turn 3. We've seen contact here before. That's a nice move, but Matt will stick with him, and with DRS, they are wheel to wheel down towards turn 4, and the Sauber gets back in front, but it's not over yet. It's down the inside towards turn 4. Can we make the move? He definitely tries. He can't quite make it. They're still wheel to wheel. Now this is going to be a very interesting section of the race circuit, as Matt manages to keep the position, but switcheroo now goes wheel to wheel into the chicane. Can't quite get past, and now about 3-4 car lengths behind. But that was fantastic action for 4th place. Fantastic stuff from the Sauber and the V-Carb. Nova in the Mercedes looking to get on the back of this. He's got DRS. He isn't going to use his DRS. Probably not the smartest place to do it. But up here towards turn 3, that's where you want to make your move. Realistically, it's turn 2, given these Formula 1 cars are so powerful. This is very rarely even a turn. But up towards the braking point now. Up the hill. Round the outside goes Brad. He gets the move done, but Matt has been tagged. And he drops down a few positions. And that will help Brad quite a lot there. He manages to get himself up into 4th. Nova up 10 positions into 5th. A fantastic drive from him. 5 gained at the start, and he is looking for potentially P4 here. And now, how much will that have impacted that DRS train? As there is a mistake from Brad, and Nova sides through. Clinical move from Brad there. He takes P5. But back out front, Josh and Mikey. Matt picks up another penalty. That's not ideal. So does H1 Job. DRS for Josh. Can't really close up to the back of that Sauber. Mikey a little bit further back here. Brad and Nova still battling away. And this is going to carry on, you get the feeling, for the final few laps. We would certainly hope so. But Mikey is just ever so keeping that lead, doing everything he needs to do. And we look to those in that DRS train. It is starting to slice out a little bit. Nothing really happening in the way of on-track action at the minute. We look here to H1 Jab and Kevin, looking for that final space in the top 10. We have a yellow flag. That is Shaggy in the Aston Martin. Shaggy P is out. DRS here for Kevin Baker. Can he get the move done, as we're going to go back up to 5th place. They're wheel to wheel up towards turn 4. Shaggy P retires from the race. Brad looking for a move to the outside, can't quite do it. And these two just continue the battle. Maloon still trying to look for a way in. He can't. And this now with 3 laps to go. Lap 9 of 12. Nothing really happening in the top 2. 7/10 the gap between Josh and Mikey. And you get the feeling he's ever so slightly just falling away. So while Josh is sliding away there, Brad is making a move at turn 3. Picks his moment. They make contact. To the outside now. Brad and Nova. Mercedes versus VCarb. Italy versus Germany in Austria. Nova keeps the position. Very, very good move from Nova. Some fantastic racing between these two. As here comes Maloon. He can't really get involved in this. About a second off. Although, Sam and Mikey, that gap has come down quite a lot now. 3 seconds between the two of them. So as it stands, Josh is in position to win. And now you see the DRS being broken can only make one move. One move has been made. Sam picks up another penalty. So at this current rate, he is set to drop 2/3 still. But if he loses out by half a second in the final 2 laps, that could be more. So we've got top 3 reminiscent of the King, Lightning McQueen and Chick Hicks here. All in red, blue and green as well, actually. So a little bit more. But here comes Mikey then towards turn 4. He goes for it down the inside. Can Sam keep the position round the outside? That will become the inside for turn 5. He can't. And look at these 3. This is exactly what we want to see. Even though there are penalties that will be applied. Mikey needs this final lap to be a big one. There's a huge snap there from Sam. That invites Josh at turn 9. Will he stick the move? He tries. They're wheel to wheel. And that is big contact. Sam is round. And that is awful news for the Ferrari, who was bang on for a victory. There is a bit of distance between Mikey and Josh now. 1 second, so Mikey will still need to gain 2 seconds to keep this victory, or Josh will win the sprint. Remember, everyone, a 36 lap feature race after this, so don't go anywhere. Sam Pitts, he is now down into 12th and last of the classified runners, as Mikey and Josh then. These two have had a very, very entertaining battle in these 12 laps. It looks like Mikey will take the win on track, as there's a 3-way battle between the McLaren, Ferrari and Haas there. Kevin manages to get himself up into 9th place. But Mikey is coming through now. It isn't going to be the victory he would want, but he can take the moral victory knowing he's crossed the line in first. He rounds all 10 corners of the Styrian circuit. Mikey comes through to take the flag, but it is Josh that wins the sprints in Austria. And when you talk about moments to kick-start a race weekend, that is 2/3 of the way done, and Josh so far has some strong pace. Mikey so far looks like the pace setter, but Josh and Mikey, they end as your top 2. Nova gets 3rd after starting from 15th on the grid to 3rd place. A fantastic performance from him. But I'm going to bring it to the chat here, as I don't have anyone in the box with me. After that, who would you say would be your driver of the session? I think it would have to be, for me, Nova. To start from 15th and finish in 3rd. Fantastic from him there. But as I say, don't go anywhere, as we have, after this, a 36 lap feature race. And this is what you will want to see. Our main race. All drivers looking for the full 25 points. Obviously, we do have a slightly different point system here. But 25 race points for whoever wins is still exactly what the aim is. You win this race, 25 World Championship points in your account, and you are looking towards a potential charge for the title. We have got 3 rounds after this. Italy, Brazil and Spain. We end the season in 3 weeks' time. So I believe we will have a one-shot qualifying following this. I'm going to show us the driver standings. I have no grip after 4 rounds. Leads the way. 93 points to Mikey on 82. Josh in third on 73. Dan 4, 52. And then Finjo 43. That is how it looks so far. So very, very strong top 5 in the championship. And that will do a lot of good for Mikey. That is a nice points boost. Even though he didn't win, he will very much be happy with that, as we do go to a one-shot qualifying for our 36 lap race. I will try and get to top spot. That is Dan Lovett at this current point, as H1 Job retires. A session from hell so far for him. It's a purple sector for Josh. He currently holds the pace. The winner of the sprint. He will be looking to do one better and win it on track this time. Mikey up there now. It very much looks similar to the session we have had the first race round. Can he go one better? Josh on course for pole position. Dan still putting him under that pressure. Slight slide out of the final corner. Everything seems fine in that Alpine. Seems more than fine. A 104.3. And Josh takes pole. A very, very strong lap there from the Alpine. And he goes one better than in our last one-shot qualifying. It's second for him in the first. It's pole in the second by a 10th, or just under a 10th. Brad in second. Sam in third. I have no grip fourth. Meloon in fifth. Dan and Mikey 6th and 7th. Hash completes your top 8. Very, very good lap there. We did have 2 disqualifications and H1 Jab not setting a lap. So he will be very pleased with that. And I think he'll be even more pleased to see Mikey boy in P7. So clearly not a great session for him there. He'll be looking to scythe his way through the field, as we have seen before. So anyone thinking that Mikey isn't in with a chance, you don't know what you're watching when you watch NRRL. He is always in with a chance from wherever he is on the grid. His ability to overtake and the pace, just incredible to see. And you get the feeling this is going to be quite the session. 36 laps. So now we head then a little bit of a break. Everyone just setting up their strategies and their setups. And then all attention will be on lights out. So here we go then. So here we go. 4 lights, 5 lights ahead of the drivers. It's lights out and away we go. Josh gets away well, but an even better start. He goes to cover off Brad in P2. Dan making his way up to 4th. We have a couple of drivers running wide, but it is Josh that leads the way from Brad. Then comes Sam. Dan Lovett making up 2 places. Here comes Sam defending that position from Brad. Wheel to wheel between the Ferrari and the V-Carb. The V-Carb gets back in front. He regains that 2nd position. Mikey up to 5th. But here comes Brad again then. Down the inside. Also round the outside for Brad. Inside for Sam. They managed to stay 1, 2 and 3. Dan in P4. Mikey making his way up to 5th. Max 7 positions gained there. So much going on in that midfield pack. But it is Josh with a perfect first lap from him. He will be very pleased with what he has seen so far. It is Josh that leads the way. He crosses the line to start lap 2. Brad in 2nd, Sam in 3rd, Dan Lovett in 4th. Josh on the hard tyres, Brad on the mediums. DRS for Brad. But here will be Sam then on board with the Ferrari. And you see, powered by AWS, possible race strategies, thinking it will be a 2-stop. Austria, very abrasive on the tyres, very, very hot. This will be a very interesting strategy call as we have some trouble down at turn 3. There is contact between the Ferrari and the V-Carb. No damage, I don't believe. As we get to see a look on that Ferrari, yeah, no damage whatsoever. Was thinking potentially an end plate. Already multiple corners and none crashed. That better than the real thing. Yeah, well, I think it's a little bit easier to not crash on the game, but it's still easy to make contact and have damage. But everyone seems to have got through very well so far, and the top 4 have left the rest of them for dust. But that is due to, obviously, a DRS train being created. Sam picks up another penalty, and that is not going to help his chances of a race victory. Josh a 107.3. Strong lap there from him. I have no grip. The World Championship leader down in P16 and with a lot of work to do. Luckily, he's got 33 extra laps to do it. So here we go again then between Ferrari and V-Carb. A much better exit from Brad. Manages to keep hold of that P2. As now we go to the DRS train being created here. Nova on the back of Mikey. Can't really make a way through. Slight snap of oversteer from Maloon. And everyone in their little bubbles here as we go back to P11. Astro, Kevin, Hash, Meldrum looking for a move around the outside. That'd be an audacious place. Shaggy P looking for a potential move. And Hash loses position to Meldrum. Good start from Meldrum there as Sam picks up another penalty and now is invited Dan onto the back of these front 3. Can he get himself into this DRS train? For his sake, you would hope so. As it is still Josh that leads. Oh, he's going to go for it down the inside. I have no grip, picks up a penalty. Not ideal. DRS, is he going to go to the outside? He chooses the inside. Can he throw it down? He can. Here we go. Can he make the move? He goes off! Brad manages to get P2 back. But that was risky from the Ferrari. Overshot it hugely. And Dan in P4 will be all over the back of him. That's managed to take Josh and Brad a little bit further away. That will be exactly what they were hoping for, as the top 2 now start to pull a 1.8 second gap from 3rd. Kevin Baker manages to get past Astro. Good from them so far. Sam, another penalty. That isn't going to win you this race, as we already look 9 seconds. And in these early stages, he can't keep getting these penalties, can he? Well, he can, but it wouldn't be beneficial for him if he did that. is now on board with the Haas here, as we have a safety car called? Is that a virtual? Is that a full? I believe it's a virtual. Wow. He can. He certainly can. Now, what was that for? Is it a full safety car? I don't believe so. I can't say I saw what happened to cause that. Everything looked relatively fine. As we have a couple of people diving into the pits there. Mikey, he goes in. Now if this VSC stays out for long, that could be a very beneficial move. Obviously limits the amount of time you will lose, as everyone is driving to now 40% of their racing speed in real life. Obviously they follow a delta on here. We have a couple of other drivers in the pits. Meldrum, Shaggy, Astro, a new front wing for the Williams there. Mikey comes out in 12th place. Josh still leads the way. Brad a little bit further back, only a couple of tenths as the racing action gets going again. Kevin Baker picks up a 10-second penalty for speeding. He obviously wouldn't have been following the delta at the end. Very, very harsh, but you know what's coming, so you have to do your best to avoid it. That isn't ideal for his race. He will serve that when he makes his pit stop. That's very beneficial for Mikey, actually, as we go to the leader gap. 18 seconds. Josh still leading the way from Brad. And then comes Sam. A 12-second penalty add up now. Not ideal for him. H1 Jar picks up another penalty. And now we look on the tyres. Medium, sorry, hard, medium, hard, medium, hard, medium, hard, medium. A little bit of changes. Here comes Sam then. I think he realises he's going to have to get on with this. Makes the position up. But on the exit, can he keep it? A better exit out of turn 2 than Brad. Brad with that DRS, not using the ERS. Maloon in 4th, a little bit further back. He's under pressure from Dan Lovett. Dan not able to force his way through at the minute. Mikey and Nova getting onto the back of this. And Matt and H1 Jarb also liking the look of what they're seeing. And this could get very, very interesting as that battle picks up. Mikey a little bit closer to Dan than Dan is to Maloon. About 4 tenths in it, although he does make a little bit of a mistake. Rears crying out there. DRS not really working the way he wants to. And you get the feeling that things are going to start to happen as we're going to look now towards Nova. He's got the DRS. Looking for a move up to 6th. We're on board here with the Mercedes. But this DRS train, as we say, not in the way. It is awful when you are involved in a DRS train. Is Sam pulling a little bit away from Brad. 1.7 seconds in between them. And now it is getting quite desperate for Sam. He needs to really pick up and go. And that is what he will be planning to do. Sam picks up another penalty, 15 seconds. Got to be careful at a track like this. Very, very easy to pick up those penalties. But you can't let it affect your race. You just have to try and keep getting on with it. But it is not ideal to pick up those penalties. They will cost you serious amounts of time. Mikey sets the fastest lap. As we just go through towards turn 3 here. The best overtaking opportunity. Here's a good one if you can get a good exit. Nova unfortunately can't really. Mikey can't find a way through. Now it's just that part of the race where it starts to peter out a little bit. Not much in the way of on-track action, but that's now the time where people will just be starting to think about their strategies potentially in the final few laps later on. As still that DRS train existing, not in the way of action really. As we will go back on board with the Mercedes-Benz of Nova Piper. Can't find a way through, and this is extremely frustrating, I imagine, for him. Malone, his teammate, looking to chase down the Faenza-born V-Carb. And this, as we say, just not in the way of many battles happening on track. Mikey and Nova, here we go then, wheel to wheel, heading towards this difficult part of the section. Oh, and we have a spinning Mercedes. He manages to point it in the right direction, but spins back round again. That is exactly not what he would have wanted. He gets it pointing in the right direction again as Kevin manages to get up into 11th, but he runs wide, and you could just see that that was going to happen. Not an ideal braking point. Speaking of not ideal braking point, Meldrum running wide, and this race starting to go crazy now as Sam gets into the lead of the race. 11 laps in. And I think he realises he's going to need to get on with this as Malone gets past Dan, who is pitted. Dan, Mikey and H1 Job all in the pits. They've come in for a new set of boots. And this race, this last 60 seconds, 90 seconds have just been utterly crazy. Meldrum picks up a 10-second penalty. Not ideal for his race. Josh still on the back of Sam. I think he's just... If he can just get that DRS, pull himself away from Brad, he will be fairly happy with that. Nova in 4th, hoping to get on the end of this. And Josh now, DRS. He's going to want to win this one on track. He didn't get that luxury last time. Matt comes into the pits for Sauber. That will put his teammate on those hard tyres for 5 laps up into 5th. Nova with DRS on Brad. Brad no DRS but quicker tyres. Josh with DRS on Sam. Not really able to gain as much as he would like going down into turn 4. He can't stop the charge of Sam at the minute, as we have a battle between Brad and Nova. Nova going round the outside and towards turn 5. Is he going to risk it? He will, and that is maybe a risk that was taken too convincingly and straight to the scene of the accident for Nova and Brad. And I would expect that the stewards will be having a look at that. Unfortunately, we can't have a look as we are not given replays on 25 yet, and that is not ideal for Brad. He falls down to 6th. Sam into the pits. He has served his penalty and he will come out, I believe, in 4th place. So it's mediums for the Ferrari, so they are committing to a definite 2-stop strategy here, you would expect. Nova in 2nd. Josh now leads following the pit of Sam. I Have No Grip Championship leader down in 11th, making his way through the field. As Mikey and Dan, they're going for it. And this could be misery compiled for Dan, as Matt now on fresher tyres by a lap. Looking to pass the Haas. He can't do so. And in comes the race leader. Race leader pits. So now things get interesting. Josh in the pits. Nova in the pits. Kevin Baker picks up a 10-second penalty. Got to be careful to not pick one up yourself. He manages to do that. Medium tyres going on the Alpine. He gets through. Nice and neat and tidy. Mikey takes the lead. Now Mikey, if he wanted to, could go to the end. Those tyres would look like a 50p piece by the end. He could try it if he wanted to. He is in the lead. 2 seconds between him and Sam. As it turns out, I don't believe Sam... No, Sam didn't serve his penalty. At first it showed me that he had. But no, still 18 seconds worth. As we go now, Mikey, DRS, wide open, rear wing open for the McLaren. He goes to the outside of Maloon. And you've got Dan on the back of this in case any trouble arises. He gets the move nice and neat and tidy. Dan gets through himself. And this could be a triple overtake loss of Maloon here. Sam, another penalty, 21 seconds. This is not the race that he will want. He goes to the outside, to the inside, sets the fastest lap. And leads. Sly lock up, he spins somewhat. Mikey gets in front, Josh gets in front. And Mikey GTI here in P4. Just holding off Matt, who's closing up to him. Mikey looking to close up to Samuel. Josh closing up to Mikey Boy. 2 different Mikeys in the top 4. They're running the show tonight. 3 tenths between them as Dan Lovett is out. I believe he retired in the pits, so I can't say I've seen what's happened there. And Josh still looking for a way past Mikey. Wily old fox he is, he will not allow any overtake here. Mikey now in 3rd, Matt in 4th, Nova in 5th. And Nova picks up a penalty as well for good measure. He will currently stay in front of Hijab as Samuel, I believe, must have run wide or something. I didn't cover that, my apologies. As here goes the top 2 then. Josh with DRS. He's looking to the outside at turn 4. Can he get through? He can't. Mikey. Oh, it was Matt actually. Matt and Nova. I didn't see Nova there. Nova gets his way up into P4. Matt in 5th. Sam is now out of the race. So a dismal race for the Ferrari comes to an end. His teammate in 6th place. Somehow Sam didn't have the most penalties, as that belongs to Meldrum. That unfortunate title. 22 seconds for the Alpine. Last of the classified runners. While his teammates lead the race. So now the top 3 as we approach halfway distance with no penalties. As now Nova looking to make his way into that top 3. DRS into turn 3. He does. DRS will come back to Mikey though, with he has a very poor exit. And he won't be able to close up as much as he would like. Matt, he manages to just keep himself in that fight. And Mikey 1.7 seconds behind Josh. Nova leading a 4-way train. H1 Jarb at the rear of it. Matt and Mikey the middle. and they are sandwiched, as we say, in between Nova in the Mercedes-Benz and the Scuderia Ferrari of H1 Job. As like we say now, halfway through the race, things just maybe start to die down a little, as tyres will be a big concern for these drivers in the final few laps. Josh on 8 lap younger and faster tyres than Mikey. So now the attention turns to, can Josh take those to the end of the race? You wouldn't expect so, or they would look very, very bad by the end of it. He will try, I would expect, or if a safety car is called late, I believe that's then when he would strike. He's just pulled out another second on Mikey. Meldrum picks up another penalty. He will drop behind Hash and into 13th. As the top 6 now have just pulled away 17 seconds between 7th and 6th. They will want a safety car called at some point to close themselves up. But this is not an ideal position for these four. As Nova leads the way between this DRS train. H1 Job maybe starting to fall off of the back of the pack a little bit. But speaking of falling off, Josh doing the complete opposite and just pulling away from Mikey. 3.6 seconds now between the top 2. Josh really setting the pace today. Close in one-shot qualifying. Wins due to a penalty in the first. Pole on track in the first race, in the one-shot qualifying, and now leading the feature. He will be very, very happy with what he is seeing so far. As Malone picks up a penalty down in 7th there. Mikey looking to put the Mercedes under pressure. We will be having a look at this. As a poor exit from Mikey there puts him under a little bit of pressure of the Sauber. Can't quite get through. That is very frustrating for him, just being stuck in this train. It makes everything a little bit hotter. The tyres, the brakes, the engine, they all heat up in that dirty air. And they will be looking to get out of this as much as possible. Now, if you're Nova, it's not too bad, as you are not in any dirty air. But Mikey won't be enjoying this, as he just watches those laps count down. Not a great exit from the McLaren there. He manages to turn that into a good one in the second phase. Trying to put that Mercedes under pressure. You see the Mercedes harvesting as there is contact between the Sauber and the McLaren. They all keep it pointing in the right direction. H1 Job 3/10 behind. Ready to pounce if there is a problem. A little bit wide from Mikey. Straightens up his McLaren. Brad manages to get past Astro down in P10 as Astro pits. And Josh will come round to lap the Haas. He comes across the line now. Mikey 5.8 behind. So that gap's still increasing as they carry on. Nova in 3rd, patrolling that final podium spot. And those 3 behind him still in DRS, but just can't get close. Nova is slowly closing up to the back of Mikey as I Have No Grip gets past Meloon. That's a good move from him, and the championship leader, if he can, will be looking to gain 30 seconds in 14 laps. I don't believe that will be able to happen, but we have seen more incredible things in Formula 1. Kevin gets back past the Mercedes. The Mercedes pits into his box. Tyres are changed. He leaves like clockwork. He will be looking for a safety car in the final few laps. That would be ideal for his races. Nova picks up another penalty. Mikey will be grinning from ear to ear seeing that. As now things just get a little bit tenser in that podium race. As unless Nova can pull out a huge gap, which to be fair, he's gained up to the back of Mikey here, and Mikey is struggling. You see those tyres very much withered away. Josh just pulling out even more. It'll be interesting to see if he can make it to the end. Those tyres are a little bit graining, although Mikey's not looking pretty whatsoever. He'll be wanting a safety car. He was able to pit under a virtual. I think he would need a full now. Astro, another penalty down in P10. Mikey in third, really gaining up to... Sorry, Mikey in second, really losing time to Nova here. Nova, you get the feeling, will be on the back of him quite quickly as Josh comes into the pits, and Mikey doing whatever Josh does. Nova gets in front, so box opposite. Obviously that means do whatever he doesn't do. He slows that car down, gets himself into sixth. Mikey has lost position to Matt here. Matt up into P2. Nova now leads the race. 10, 12, 13, 13 for the top four. It's hard for the race leader, or net race leader now, in Josh, as he now looks to go 12 more laps to the end, 2/3 of the way through the race. And he will be looking to chase after Mikey. Oh, sorry, Mikey will be looking to chase after Josh. That's my mistake there. Nova still leads, 1.2 seconds clear. And it'll be interesting to see, does anyone else pit? Matt does, so a lap after his teammate. He comes into the pits. We'll stay on board here and have a look at his pit stop. Can he have a clean break? You would hope so. He comes through nice and neat. In 5th place. He'll slight spin there as Mikey, his teammate, will lap the Haas of Hash. Good name for a good team, that. Hash at Hash. Hash picks up another penalty. Josh still pulling out that gap on Mikey. 8 seconds now. As Nova and Mikey into the pits. Good pit stops for them. Josh back in the lead. Mikey picks up a penalty, so it compounds even less his chances to win this race. As Josh looks to just chase after... Oh, that is his teammate of Meldrum. running wide and going off at turn 3. Josh still leads Mikey at turn 4. That gap still increasing by just a little bit. 10 laps to go, and you very much get the feeling that this is looking better and better for Mikey. Oh, sorry, for Josh. I'm making lots of mistakes tonight, I apologise. Nova in 3rd. Can he potentially chase after Mikey and take that 2nd place? 16 seconds worth of penalty, so you'd think not. But could Matt, his teammate, steal that 2nd place from Nova? Or could he try and help Mikey keep that? In terms of the championship, even though he's not winning, it will still be good points for him, as I Have No Grip is currently down in P7. That's still a decent result from where he had been at certain points in this race, but Josh out front is just controlling and getting even further away, as Nova still looks to hunt down on that Sauber, but nothing really working at this current point. 3/10 quicker in his 2nd sector, as he is pulling away from the other Sauber, so should make that just a little bit easier, as he will have DRS then. We're on board with the Mercedes. Goes round turn 1, gets DRS open. Mikey not using his, neither is Nova. As towards turn 3, they go through. It's a decent exit for both. Here comes Nova then. Astro, another penalty for him. 18 seconds now for the Williams. Nothing working for Nova. Mikey just able to keep hold of that position, as Matt in P4 just driving a lonely race, but is set to take 3rd if Mikey isn't able to pull away from... No, although it wouldn't matter actually, he would keep it. And Matt actually is set to take 2nd at this current point. So it'd be a double Sauber podium. Josh 9.4 out front, unless there's a late safety car or makes a mistake. He has this in the bag, you would expect. He has led a lot of this race and has dominated it, as we have a stoppage there for a Red Bull. He's managed to get going again. Was that a Williams? Not too sure, although Nova... Oh, he makes a slight mistake, runs a little bit wide. That could cost him. 7 laps to go once they cross the line. Josh does. Lap 30 then. And he will look to go for it. Battery is fully charged. Not an ideal exit. Bumps the sausage curb on the outside. DRS though for the Mercedes. He's closer. He's just a little bit too far back. But if he can focus on a good exit, as Mikey runs a little bit wide and has that open the door now. DRS, ERS, down towards turn 4. A little bit of a slipstream. Isn't working out as much. But that is not an ideal position for Mikey, as that has just invited a little bit more pressure from Nova. Matt's still in the background of this, a little bit too far off for DRS, but he is still on for third, so he doesn't really need to get involved and throw away a potential second place. Mikey picks up a penalty, so that's good for Matt's case. As here they go then, get a nice exit through one. DRS, ERS, both drivers burning, one with DRS, one with a slipstream. Get through turn 3, nice and neat and tidy. Both do that a little bit better for Mikey. He keeps that position for now. Meldrum sets the fastest lap of the race, won't score a point for that, but a good achievement for him for what has been a penalty ridden race, as we have a, oh no, that's a Haas letting the lapped cars through. Mikey just holding on to this second place from Nova. Nova will of course drop down, but he will be looking to get away. As Matt's still on course for P2. Nova just sat behind a little bit further back, although he is close to this lap. He's going for it down the inside. Goes the Mercedes. Switch back from Mikey. DRS, although not much left to use. Meldrum is disqualified. Goes to the outside again. That would become the inside. Can't find a way through. A little bit of a worse off exit. And Nova is through. So now, push, push, push for Nova. And you won't be able to get a podium in these final few laps due to those penalties. But you can try and push your way a little bit further up the field. We'll try and figure this out, the mental math. So Nova, a 16-second penalty would put him right now in 6th. But due to the penalties for other drivers, I believe he's on for 5th place. So this gets that's still a decent result from Nova. He will be looking for 3rd, of course. Mikey now, maybe fighting for his team here. He looks for a move up the inside. Can't quite make it. DRS wide open there, wheel to wheel towards turn 4. He gets the place back. Now he can keep this. If he can just pull a little bit further away from his teammate, he will at least end up with 3rd. But he will want 2nd for his championship challenge. I have no grip down in 7th there. He doesn't look like he's going to get up to 6th. Kevin and Hash battling away for the final top 10 spot. And as we get into the final 3 laps of this Grand Prix, is there one more twist in the tail between Nova and Mikey? Josh, 10 seconds up the road. He looks well in position for a race victory. He can't quite make a move through. Mikey on the back of Matt, but isn't going to be able to finish in front due to a 3-second penalty. Matt dropped off a little bit. Well, not really. Mikey has really caught him more than Matt has dropped off. But he sadly caught him at the wrong time. Brad gets up to 8th. He is following his team leader, I Have No Grip, home. As we come to the final 2 laps now. Mikey and Nova, as we have a Mercedes. Is that Maloon? I believe so. He's managed to get that car going again. had run a little bit wide. Josh coming up through turn 3 now, 10 seconds clear. Mikey and Nova. Nova gets back through, but Mikey very quickly takes that position back. Not the ideal camera to be out there. We'll move on. Nova, anyway, loses the position, but he will be sticking with him. As we go on to the final lap, and Josh has dominated this Grand Prix. You have to be good to race in NRRL. You have to be great to win races, and this tonight could start the turn for potentially, if he has the time, I will quickly check this, a late championship chart. He does. He's only 19 points behind I Have No Grip. Nova trying to get through on Mikey. He can't quite do it. Josh is coming through, however, to set up what is going to be a mega end to the season, as he is coming through now for what is a dominant display in Austria, as now he heads through the right-handers. He has dominated from start to finish. He won it through a penalty last time. He wins it on track this time. Josh wins in Austria. And that is exactly what he wanted. He is back in the championship hunt. Mikey comes home for... He will end up with second. Matt in third. Mikey GTI in fourth. Nova in fifth. H1 Jab will come home in sixth despite a 9-second penalty. I Have No Grip is coming through. He will lead home his teammate in the V-Carb. But it is I Have No Grip championship leader in 7th place. And that actually, from where he was at the start of the race, isn't a dreadful result. Brad comes home in 8th. It will be Kevin Baker in 9th. Maloon rounds off the top 10. He's the last to cross the line due to Hash being lapped. But a dominant display in the Styrian Mountains from Josh. And that has put Mikey and I Have No Grip on notice for the World Championship. That this isn't just a two-way fight. This could be 3. And if you're wondering who is going to win the championship, there is only one way to find out. You join us every Monday for this tier. But join us every day. We have 7 days of racing action now. So make sure you join us. Sadly, tomorrow I will not be here in attendance. I will be back on Wednesday for our Super League tier. Very, very entertaining races they have given us so far. So make sure to join us tomorrow for the Tuesday division, as Jack, my brother, will be back for that. But there are your results over the weekend. The sprint is a win for Josh. The race is a win for Josh. A dominant display for the Alpine. Mikey comes home in second, Matt third for a double Sauber podium. And what a race that was. Action from start to finish. And if you want to see more of that, there's only one channel you can find that on, and that is here, NRRL. That is going to be it from me tonight. I will ask one last time, 25% off for September. So if you want to support the channel and help us grow as a league, we have grown so quickly already, and we appreciate all of you for our support. We reached our 100 follower goal just a few days ago. So if you can follow the channel now, if you like what you see, we'll be live every single day, and click notifications to let us, for you to know when all the races are live. We are racing every single day. I'm present a few of those days. So like I say, if you like the sound of an 18-year-old man's voice every single night, then you know where to find it. I'll be here 3-4 times a week. Usually Sunday, Thursday, Wednesday. Might be doing Tuesdays in the future. That is still up for discussion on my own. So if you think I was good as a solo tonight, I very much appreciate that. Jack will see you tomorrow for the Tuesday tier. I will see you on Wednesday. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's race. Make sure to show us your support. If you want to race in this league, then go to our link tree on the channel. We have TikTok, we have all of it. So make sure to find us there and get involved in the racing action. But thank you all for watching. I have been Lewis. Take care.